Thank you so much. And I really appreciate this is my honor to be here with you today. And I would like to thank Ms. Madulido and Hasioti for having me today and the whole community of teachers and the being with a school that is also part of the program of Microsoft as a showcase school, have several MIE teachers and the fellows. This is really my honor to be with you, and thank you so much. Probably I will give a little bit more kind of insights on my position, besides being the with the education at Microsoft and covering 33 countries, and including Greece. I'm also a part of a committee on the accessibility in Microsoft. It's a worldwide program, and I'm very excited to be part of it because we are working with the governments, we are working with the commercial organizations, with my other hat, in on the accessibility. And this is very hot topic, I would say. So would like to walk you through a little bit about of our history, of Microsoft history with the accessibility, and also to deep dive a little bit into the education piece, because this is like a very important topic for everybody around the globe. So just a little bit of things how I do, what do I use usually on my computer? And this is all about the experience, right? And you may have noticed that my, cursor is pretty big. It's big and it helps me to really locate it. You can see that I don't really have a good vision. The other thing that I use with Microsoft is the accessibility checker. Basically, whatever I send, I just click on that and it says whether the email is good enough in terms of the accessibility. The dark mode, focus mode, magnifier, this is my experience. And a lot of people say, okay, what is the accessibility? It's not only about the infrastructure and the buildings. It's about the experience of a person in providing a better experience to the people. And unfortunately, the disability is something that in some time we may get it too. And right now, around the globe, there's more than 1 billion people who have disability. And unfortunately, only 1 in 10 have the access to the accessible technology. What we see that also a very high unemployment rate, and especially around the people with autism, this is like too high. And it can affect actually everybody at some given point. And the disability can be a permanent one, a temporary one, or a situational. And why I'm telling this, because sometimes the disability can be really invisible, and there is an assessment of 70% of the disability is not really visible. Let's take the education. There are a lot of kids who have dyslexia, right? And the parents may be not really assessing it in that way, but it's always a struggle for them to read and, given the, letters, consequence in that. But basically the message is it can be visible and it can be invisible. And here you see like 6 areas, the way that we approach the accessibility and the way that we approach in developing our products and in terms of working with our schools, education institutions, and beyond. I wanted to share with you some statistics, and I know that a lot of discussion was there about the COVID and its impact, but I think this is very important to reiterate. And one of them is the fact that around 35% of kids who had some issues, they were not able to be part of the remote learning during the COVID. The other statistics is that we do have in Microsoft a disability answer desk. So basically the customers can call in and ask about specific product accessibility features. The calls during the COVID time were skyrocketing. And the immersive reader usage has been like 560% higher. And I'm not talking about the Teams captioning increase. So this is very pointing out to the pain points that the whole society has right now, and the people especially who have some disability issues. As I said, the accessibility topic is right now what we assess is a priority for everybody. So I've been with the committee for about 2 years in Microsoft, and we have seen this huge, increase in the really acknowledging the fact that people need to embrace people with disabilities and be create the right experiences for them. So we've been seeing both on the commercial side and on the government side, and plus we over the last year working with these 33 countries and seeing also the global experience. I see that the ministries of education, the educational institutions are really getting into this topic because they do understand that there is this personalized learning that needs to take place and give an impact, a good performance for the kids. Um, as I said, I will give you a little bit of things around Microsoft that we have been doing, and we will deep dive into the education piece. But I wanted to highlight that besides being the responsibility for Microsoft, the accessibility as a responsibility, from the other side, we see also an opportunity. So there was a research conducted with the help of the Accenture, a consulting firm. So those companies who were embracing the inclusivity and diversity, they would outperform their peers in terms of the revenue, in terms of the net income, in terms of the turnover of their employees. So this is something that is really important and it's an opportunity in terms of bringing more better experiences to their students, customers, and population. From the other side, it also drives the innovation. If you look into the things like a lot of governments are now concerned with the unemployment rates and also concerned with the skilled workforce, we can only imagine what a large pool of talented people out there who have maybe some disability issues, but they can drive the innovation in reality. We don't really think about how this voice recognition piece that is built in into our everyday life, smartphones, etc. But in reality, it was created in a medical hospital in 70s when a patient wanted to drive his wheelchair. So the idea is that it brings the inclusion and it brings the innovation. It goes hand in hand. So in Microsoft, we had a long journey among this, and we continue doing this journey. The first ones came out in '94 with the sticky keys. The disability desk I also mentioned, but the key change happened when the new CEO was appointed, Satya Nadella in Microsoft. And after that, we now also have a chief accessibility officer. And we see a trend that people and commercial organizations and governments are really looking into this position as a position that would drive the inclusivity. On our side, we take it like embrace the whole accessibility piece throughout the whole chain, starting from culture, which is one of the key ones, I would say, moving it into everything, like partner discussions, the products, everything that is out there. It is related to the accessibility and inclusivity. The latest commitment from the Microsoft was made 1.5 years ago when Microsoft really took the responsibility, saying, okay, we need to really embrace and help our partners to create assistive technologies. We need to help create and develop the talent and the workforce of the future. So for us, it's kind of part of the mission because we do not say like empowering only 98% of the population or empowering only 98% of students to achieve more. It's about everybody around the globe. So as I mentioned, the accessibility is part of the product and it's not bolted on, it's built in. And for the education, the way that we look at things, it has different kind of sections, the way the holistic approach we have in the education. It's inclusive design. It's also concentration on well-being of students and also the acceleration of the learning. So with the inclusive design, I'm pretty sure that you have a very strong, pool of teachers who are familiar with our features. But I just wanted to highlight the things that we have at this point, which is all around the place and is available in our features free of charge. So it's live captions, it's the immersive reader, which is part of the of our solution. It's the dictation, it's math assistant. So these are the ones that are with the built-in, and it's just a part. But if you look at how the personalized learning is happening, is the way that you really meet the student where he wants to meet. The other piece that I was referring to is the accessibility checker. The accessibility checker actually is my beloved one because it really helps to create a document, create an email that would be easy to use for a person who is getting it from you. So basically, if you insert a picture with the help of the artificial intelligence, with the machine learning, it really pre-populates the description of the picture that you have out there. And if there is an issue with the vision, they just can, listen to what is described in what is depicted in that picture. The latest news from Microsoft is the accessible accessories. And they came out actually this fall. So this is an innovation, and it's a customizable mouse which you can put if you have issues with the limbs, for example. You can customize the mouse that you would like to use. On the Surface side, I believe you are familiar with the accessible adaptive kit on the Surface side, and it helps you to navigate the keys on the laptop and the cables that would help you to go through the experience in a smooth way. So the acceleration of learning, and this is the reading progress that you may already using it, the insights in Teams, immersive reader, as I mentioned. So basically the things that are built in. One interesting note, I would say, a lot of customers that are long-standing partnership with Microsoft, sometimes they don't even know the features that we have in Microsoft. And it very, it in my opinion, we should keep raising the awareness of things that we have built in our technology to give the opportunity to others to be engaged in the learning process. So this is the one that is with the reading progress. Basically, it helps the kid with dyslexia, for example, to assess the rate, the accuracy rate of reading the words. It gives an opportunity to learn about, for example, synonyms if you put on it. It also helpful for those who are not a native speaker, for example, of a specific, specific language. And again, this gives the teachers the possibility to really assess how the whole class is doing on that reading piece. The well-being, I think a lot of things have been specified over the last several years, in particular after the COVID. But the monsters that we have in Teams, this is also something that kids are really loving, and also the teachers are really seeing the whole mood in the class. And if they identify a kid who is not really happy, this is done through the reflect in our Teams platform. So the teacher can approach this person, give a much more attention if needed, and really help them to go through the process and bring back them on track. So this is a very short kind of demo piece, but that I wanted to share to you. So basically, a kid logs into the system. He goes into the piece of the accessibility. They can adopt the colors the way that they would like to see, black and white, different, red, green piece. They can go to the themes of contrasting. This is the one that I usually use in the evenings. So you basically create a more calming atmosphere for your eyes, I would say. The narrator, if you have any issues with the visibility. And we do also have the magnifier to increase in terms of, increasing a specific part of the document or a screen that helps you. The audio for the hearing impairment people, you put it on mono, which gives you an opportunity to really dive into the hearing piece, and also the dictation that would be coming out. And there is also this access to the disability answer desk if there is any question about the specific feature in the Microsoft products. So the dictation piece is also very useful. We sometimes use it, of course, on the mobile, but this is also available in a Microsoft Office. So this is something that I noticed my kids love using it. The immersive reader, which takes out the whole thing, the noise around it, because sometimes kids are really distracted with different things. Would it be on the website or would it be in the document? So they give an opportunity. They are given an opportunity to really focus on things that they read. They can change the size of the text. They can change the coloring behind to make it much more easier for them to really grasp the idea behind it, and the space between the text to make it more clear for them. So text spacing is also out there. The grammar, of course, the things that can be built in, and this is also available in Microsoft Edge. Let's see what is coming next. I think the other piece, the reading preferences are here, the focus, as I mentioned. So the concise text piece that you can read through that, and this is where the personalized approach to kids taking place, because all of us learn in different manner, right? Sometimes people love hearing. Hearing is the way that they learn. There are people who really like reading, and this is the way that you can adopt the way for the kid to really grasp the themes and topics. And this is the reflect piece that I was mentioning. So basically the teacher can also look into the whole way of how the class is doing. Are they happy? Are they ready for the next topics? What is the whole mood in the class? So there are so many things around, and this is all about really learning about the features that we have, because again, we have been noticing that around the globe, even in different segments, people don't really know that it's part of the Microsoft, and that creates a much better experience for everybody. So what I wanted to share with you next, let's see, this is the insights. Maybe you are aware, this is the insights for it can be taking place, education insights on the class level, on the principal level. So when you assess the whole kind of performance of the whole school. So this is a kind of small demo. One thing that I wanted also to mention here, and this is again relates to the awareness of things that we have built in our products. So during the COVID time, one of the universities, they realized that a lot of kids that they do need help, but they don't really know what is out there. So this is a partner accessibility bot developed. Whenever you print in a question that you would like to really get an answer from, okay, where can I increase the size of my cursor, for example, and gives you the structured way of instructions in which buttons you can click and really learn about the features that we have in Microsoft. So availability of resources that I want to encourage everybody to take is, it's on the MS Learn, of course. A lot of resources are out there also for the educators in terms of how to make the inclusive and accessible classes. We internally in Microsoft, we take the batch. So basically everybody who is working in Microsoft, who are taking the training on accessibility, which is also something that you practice what you preach, right? So the company is very very committed to this topic. So we really understand what is out there. We learn about the things. And I should confess, I myself, before getting into the committee, I didn't really realize that what is the difference in the accessibility. So again, the questions, it's all about the experience. So in terms of the Microsoft and how it really helps, decreasing the costs, improving the student outcomes, there was a research done with the Forrester. 5,000 faculty members were interviewed, and around 90,000 students, both from K-12 and higher ed, to understand what was the impact of these accessibility features that we have in Microsoft. So it gives a full picture of how the assistive technologies can really impact the way that you operate, the way that you impact the society around you. So you more than happy to share the presentation so you can go through the links. And at the end, I wanted to share with you a small video, which I think is very inspiring around the accessibility features that we have. Let's play it on. And I hope I'm on time.
The true purpose of education is to create possibility.
It was a little hard for me. People laugh whenever I read sometimes. Well, they knew how to read, and I didn't. I will never be good at reading. I will probably be held back again. It highlights the words to know where I am. When it's reading, I see spaces between the words. And it's easy to focus on. The first time I actually could read that book, I was proud of myself. I was very proud of myself. Good job, Jody. Woo, woo.
When technology and education come together, possibility becomes reality.
I want to read every book in here.
And this is actually the end of my presentation. I'm happy to take any question if we still have time. And again, thanks to everybody for having me. And I hope I inspired you a little bit. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Ghazaryan, for your very interesting presentation. Enjoy the rest of the webinar.
Thank you.
Μου έκανε ιδιαίτερη εντύπωση στην παρουσίαση της κυρίας Ghazaryan το τέλος,